Renee drifted, a speck of organic debris against the infinite canvas of the void. Space is cold and indifferent, much like a corporate boardroom, but with significantly better views. He knew three things with absolute certainty as the universe swallowed him. His ship's AI had chosen sarcasm over survival strategies. His oxygen reserves were reciting a countdown indistinguishable from a eulogy, and dying in a barless vacuum was a poor career choice. He was fading, the stars above blurring into a wet painting of light, until she appeared. She wasn't death. She was poetry, carved from midnight and nightmare. Nira, a Varelian. Her face hovered over him, framed by ink-dark hair that coiled with its own gravity. Her eyes were obsidian abysses, and her ears were elegant, tapered points that twitched with curiosity. She told him she was there to help, though her presence felt more like a seductive comet crash. "You are leaking time," she noted, her voice like silk pulled over static. With a clawed hand, she sliced her wrist, offering iridescent black blood laced with gold that smelled of ozone. Instinct screamed, "Predator," but the survival impulse screamed louder. Ren drank. It wasn't a sip. It was an ignition. His veins turned into live wires, the universe flared blindingly white, and he fell into the dark. He awoke not in the afterlife, but aboard the Varelian Maw, a ship with a pulsing organic heartbeat and a brooding soul. Nira stood there, floating slightly above the deck, explaining his new reality. He wasn't a vampire, nor a minion. He was a convergence, a biological anomaly fueled by her ancient blood. The ship itself chimed in, a sleek, British-accented sentient vessel that admitted to sassing its pilots. It is funny how, even in deep space, technology develops an attitude. Ren felt a strange hunger, devouring a glowing teal fruit that tasted of static electricity and happiness, a bizarre sensation, like eating a battery dipped in honey. But peace is fleeting in narratives like this. Scavengers, those opportunistic vultures of the void, clamped onto the hull. Nira didn't panic. She transformed. Her limbs edged with blades of pure light, she moved with terrifying elegance. Ren joined the fray, realizing his new blood sang at the violence, his body healing instantly. They survived, but the encounter proved one thing. He was no longer just a pilot. He was a weapon in the making. To understand this terrifying bond, they set a course for Paravos, an archive world. Of course, nothing is simple. The planet was blockaded by the Church of Eternal Singularity, zealots who worship entropy and bombard non-believers. It's a classic aggressive theology: convert or decompose. The Maw deployed ironic decoy balloons that exploded into confetti, and philosophical quotes about futility, confusing the enemy long enough for them to land near the crystalline grass of the archive tower. They descended luminous stairs deep into the earth. At the bottom waited the lexicon core, a floating orb of liquid light. Nira activated it, seeking the history of their blood bond. The machine didn't speak in riddles. It showed them nightmares. First, a memory of a failed bonding from eons past that ended in mutual destruction. Then, a vision of the future. A shattered star, a war between the Varelian and others, and Nira falling, consumed by the very connection she forged. Ren recoiled. He was becoming a catalyst for doom. They fled as the Church began their orbital bombardment, escaping into the safety of hyperspace with heavy hearts. Silence reigned aboard the Maw. Ren tried to meditate, haunting himself with the vision of Nira's death. But she reassured him that visions are warnings, not fates. There was one last hope, a beacon hidden in the dark halo nebula, a place older than the Varelian themselves. They navigated through lightning storms to find a sphere shifting like Mercury, dreaming of architecture. Inside, they found not words, but pure memory. The beacon revealed the ultimate truth. The bond wasn't about power or domination. It was a bridge, a way to connect disparate species. Ren wasn't a weapon. He was the proof that understanding is possible. The revelation shifted the air between them. The static of doubt was replaced by the flow of trust. Back in the ship's mess hall, eating rehydrated pasta that tasted suspiciously like rubber, Ren asked what they were now. Nira, sipping what looked like wine but was likely something far richer, smiled, a rare, genuine expression. They were undefined, partners in a chaotic galaxy. The stars outside whispered of trouble and glory, and for the first time since drifting in the cold jaws of space, Renaud wasn't looking for an exit. He was ready for the show.